Welcome back to another episode of Streaming Safari here at the Lion Habitat Ranch. I'm Keeper Alex, and of course, as usual, we have Denise, our superior, amazing keeper, recording this for us. I like to call her out sometimes because she doesn't always like to be on the camera, and she's awesome. So first off, as usual, I would like to thank anybody who's been able to just visit us at the ranch or make any donations or help us out on Amazon Smile. All those links are right down below. We have some special things as well. We're still doing voting for Best of Las Vegas. I believe that's available until September 23rd. So you can vote every day. So if you love us and have come out to see us and love all of our animals, it really helps us out to get a little bit of publicity out there. So go check out the Best of Las Vegas page and give us a vote as many days as you can. That would be amazing. And I also want to let you guys know that you're probably aware that Halloween is coming up, and we're going to be celebrating our third annual Boo at the Zoo. And for Boo at the Zoo, we're going to be celebrating from October 29th through Halloween, October 31st, so 3 days, and we're going to be doing lots of fun activities. We're going to be giving enrichment to our lions. We will be having a scavenger hunt, and as usual, I believe the topic is conservation and
extinction.
Mm-hmm. And what else am I missing? Oh, you can wear a costume. You can wear a costume. There are some limitations, so just check out our Facebook page. All that stuff will be posted there, but it's a really fun time. It's one of my favorite things that we do, so I'm really excited about it. And then today, we're going to be doing a little bit of a fun experiment with eggs, hopefully making a little bit of a mess with eggs. And I actually brought out, sorry, this keeps going in and out. I brought out some eggs of ours to show you real quick. This is one of our ostrich eggs. The capacity of this is about 2 dozen chicken eggs. And you can see it's got a pretty thick shell on it. It's got this nice white creamy color to it. This egg, which is a tiny bit smaller, is about like half the size, is one of our emu eggs. And they're all this green color, but they vary in how green they are. Some of them are almost so dark green that they're black, and some of them are just a really, really light green. And again, this shell is a little bit thinner. But the thing that's similar about all eggs, including this egg right here, which is from one of our sulfur-crested cockatoos, is that these eggs are made out of something called calcium carbonate. And calcium carbonate is calcium, carbon, and 3 oxygens.
Oh, we did do a streaming safari where we took the naked egg.
Yes.
And we have, yes.
So you talked about this in the naked egg experiment, so I want to do another egg experiment that kind of talked about some similar things. But, of course, not the same thing, because we tried to do different ones. But the naked egg and the bouncing egg were really fun, and so hopefully this one will be fun too. So as you can see, eggs come in a variety of sizes. They all have this very similar dome shape though. And the dome shape is actually what gives the egg its strength. So you've seen like arched bridges and things like that, and it's kind of like, why would you make something so elaborate? Well, it's because that arching of the egg or of a bridge actually makes it a lot stronger. So what we're gonna see first is we're gonna just test how strong an egg is. So the first thing I have is just regular eggs. I haven't done anything to them. They just came from the grocery store. They've been in the refrigerator. And to keep this hopefully a little bit more clean. Oh, hang on. I need my plastic wrap. I'm going to put it in some plastic wrap so it doesn't get all over my hands. Now, Denise, do you know what's really, really important about when you're dealing with eggs, even if you're not breaking them open?
Salmonella.
Yes, you have to be very careful because eggs can have salmonella bacteria. And salmonella bacteria actually comes from the chicken, not necessarily from the egg itself. And that is actually why you can have salmonella bacteria on the outside, on the shell of an egg. So a lot of the time the contamination comes from breaking the egg open and actually getting some of the egg on the shell. There can be a little bit of bacteria inside, but usually where you're getting the bacteria from is actually on the external part of the egg. So anytime you're dealing with eggs, even if you're not cracking them open, if you're just touching them, be really, really careful with them.
What should you do? Wash your hands.
Wash your hands really, really well. Yes. So just be careful to know that you need to wash your hands. So even if you've just gotten the eggs, you've touched them from the carton, or you were putting them away, if you have like a special place in your fridge that you like stack them in. I know some people have that like fancy egg thing. Make sure you wash your hands. So what we're gonna do first is I'm just gonna squish this egg. I'm actually gonna put it in between my palms. I'm gonna bring my fingers together and I'm gonna push as hard as I can. I'm gonna provide what's called compression pressure. What do you think is gonna happen?
Well, if you're strong enough, you might be able to break it.
I can't. I can't break it. So this is the first thing I want you to try. So keep it in the plastic wrap or like a Ziploc bag, just to, if it explodes, it doesn't explode all over you. Grab one side so you can put your thumb on the bottom just to hold it nice and tight real quick while you set up your other hand. Bring your other hand to the opposite side, interlock your fingers, and then push on both sides. And what you're doing is you're compressing the egg together and you're providing actually pressure on all parts of the egg. And this is actually the way that the egg is designed to resist pressure. So this is why when your birds sit on top of their eggs to incubate them, even if they're a little bit heavy, that compression doesn't actually break them because they're built in a way that prevents them from cracking under compression pressure. It's a little bit different when you strike it against something because you want the baby chick to be able to come out of the egg. Something else happens that's pretty cool too. As a chick develops inside of the egg, from the inside, the calcium carbonate is actually going to break down. And it's going to break down slowly from the membrane inside of the egg to provide calcium to the baby chick. And as it breaks down, this becomes weaker. And so when the baby's ready to come out, it's going to peck at the inside of the egg and the shell is going to be weak enough for the chick to break the egg open. But the chick is not providing a compression pressure, so it's actually much easier to break the egg. So we're going to see how far that compression pressure actually goes. And again, that compression pressure is related to the arching of the egg itself. So what I'm gonna do is I have a cardboard box set down on the ground just so I don't make too much of a mess and I can just toss the box if needed. And here's how we're gonna set this up. So I'm gonna take 3 of these eggs. You can do it with 4. I'm gonna take some bottle caps. So I just have some bottle caps from some water bottles. And I'm gonna set up the eggs in a triangle on the cardboard box here. I'm trying to make them as even as possible, but again, I'm going to keep them on the cardboard. We don't want too much of a disastrous mess. Okay, and then you're going to take a bottle cap and put it on top of it as well because we don't want our eggs to roll away.
So basically a hat and a shoes.
Yes, we're going to put a hat and shoes on our eggs. I should have drawn some little faces on them. All right. The mic really likes me today. Okay, and then I have this nice nifty cardboard container that I'm gonna set on top of them to make a nice even surface for me to start putting weight on. So, does that look good?
Yeah.
All right.
And then the eggs are still under there, guys.
So the eggs are still under here. They might be a little hard to see, but the eggs are under here. And what I want you to do is take some things to stack on top of them. The easiest thing to add weight nice and slow is probably going to be some books. We don't have too many flat books at the ranch, so I did grab one just to create a little bit of surface. So this is a pretty heavy book. This book probably weighs maybe like half a pound. All right, and we'll put that on there. Okay, and obviously, like, these eggs still haven't broken. Now, some other extra weight that I have are actual weights, and I'm going to add these on here, hopefully in a fashion that keeps the weight distributed. And again, you can just keep adding as much weight as possible. Now, I'm going to add 1 6-pound weight. So what's on it right now? What do you think, Denise? Probably like 7 pounds.
Maybe.
Maybe a little less.
Probably a little less.
A little less. Okay, and then I'm going to add another 6 pound weight. So this compression pressure on these eggs is already over 10 pounds, right? The weights themselves are going to be 12 pounds, and then whatever the book weighs and whatever this weighs. It's already taking that much weight on it. So I didn't grab too many more things to add to it because I wanted to try to do something crazy.
You're gonna stand on it?
I'm going to try to stand on these eggs.
Don't fall, please.
I'm going to try also not to fall. So it took a lot of my weight. So it would probably take at least another maybe 50 or so pounds of weight, depending on the distribution that you get on your eggs, which is pretty cool. Under ideal circumstances with the weight distributed exactly precisely, an individual egg should be able to take between 100 and 250 pounds of compression pressure, which is pretty cool. So what I want you guys to do is set this up, and before you stand on it, do an experiment where you try to just stack the books as high as you possibly can and see how many books you can get on top of your eggs. And then if they're still there, maybe take the books off, do it again, or do it with a couple more eggs. All right, this is gonna be a gooey mess.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
I would
And
leave
then
that on top. It's gonna be messy.
I wanna try this one more way, and hopefully I haven't crushed my bottle caps too much yet. And with this, I want to hopefully demonstrate to you why actually it's very important for us to pay attention to something with global warming right now that happened in our ocean, which we talked about a little bit before, right? I think in some of our previous streaming safaris, maybe in the one that Denise did with the naked egg, I think you might have mentioned
I did.
How the calcium inside of eggs, which also is what makes up the shells of many marine creatures, can actually be really, really damaged by both acid and heat. And as more carbon dioxide is put into our environment, the ocean actually soaks it up. And what that does is it actually reacts with the carbon that's inside of the shells of these creatures, like different crustaceans, crabs, and shrimps, and things like that. Just like these eggs. It can actually break up that carbon, the carbon that's making up the shells.
Hey,
And
Alex.
so, yes.
Shane would like to know, are we open tomorrow?
What's today? Saturday? Yes, we are open tomorrow. We are open from 10 to 2. You're welcome to make a booking online, or you can just walk in and we'll get you in anytime between 10 and 2. Our last entry is at 1:30. I recommend getting here at least by 1. Do we have anything special going on tomorrow?
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Sunday fun day.
Sunday fun day. All right, let me find my other caps. So what I've done to these eggs is they're hard-boiled. So that means that they've been under, of course, a lot of heat, right? Hard-boiled an egg before. And already when I was hard-boiling these eggs, one of these eggs cracked. And so if you're going to do this experiment with the hard-boiled eggs, I would suggest making a couple extra, just in case one of them breaks. Because they can be very, very fragile. So you're going to, I think with this, I might not explain the science exactly right, but I think with this, you've got a little bit more stability from the fact that the egg inside has solidified, but the shell itself has deteriorated slightly because of that heat. And I don't know if I mentioned that CO2 that's absorbed by the ocean actually increases the temperature of the ocean as well, which is going to also help to unfortunately break down those shells. Okay, so we're going to see if it can take the weight that we put on it originally. So here's the, I feel like I already heard cracking.
I don't think I see.
Weight.
That might have been your bottle cap.
Okay, and then the 12-pound weight.
It's still holding.
All right. And me weight.
Oh, that was a lot.
Immediately, right when I put my foot down. And there's the egg on this side, so let's see.
Oh yeah, that was so quick. I barely put the weight of like this part of my leg on it, whereas I almost stood up on the other legs, on the other eggs. So basically, when I heated up these hard-boiled eggs, it broke down the structure of this shell. And so the shell becomes much more compressible. Probably even if I do that same experiment again where I squish it together, it's probably going to be way easier for me to break it. I probably still can't. Oh no, it's probably because of the pressure from the inside. But I promise you these are hard-boiled and they will take less weight than if you just have the regular eggs. So those are two experiments that you can do that you can actually compare how much weight you could put on the eggs that weren't boiled and the eggs that were boiled. And I think that will be really fun for you guys to try out. So I hope you try this experiment. I hope you enjoyed watching our experiment today, watching me try to stand on some eggs. If you can stand on some eggs, that would be really cool. Send us a picture. That would be awesome. I love when you guys do the experiments. And other than that, hopefully you come out to see us and you come out to see us for Boo at the Zoo. So we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks.